May our ears hear the good, Lords, inspiration of sacrifice. May our eyes see the good. May we serve Him with the whole strength of our body. May we, all our life, carry out His will. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. The word prashna means question, and this Upanishad is built around 6 profound questions concerning the nature of existence, life, consciousness, and the self. Unlike some of the more poetic or mystical Upanishads, the prashna unfolds as a dialogue between teacher and student. Each question begins with an aspect of ordinary human experience and gradually leads toward deeper spiritual insight. The sages of the Upanishadic tradition were not content merely to accept inherited beliefs. They asked, what sustains life? What happens in sleep? What the sacred syllable Om signifies? And whether there is an ultimate reality behind the changing world of appearances. The answers given in this text are expressed through the language and symbolism of ancient India. We encounter references to the sun and moon, the cycles of time, the vital force known as prana, and the spiritual quest for knowledge of the self. While some of this imagery may seem unfamiliar, the questions themselves remain as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. The Prashna Upanishad invites us to reflect not only upon the world around us, but upon the deeper source from which life, awareness, and understanding arise. Let us now begin. Welcome to the Lord. Sukesha Bharadwaja, Satyakama Shaibya, Suryayani Gargya, Kusalya Ashwalayana, Bhargava Vaidarbhi, and Kabandi Katyayana, students and devotees, brought their offerings and their faith to sage Pipalada. The sage said, "Stay with me for a year. Practice faith, austerity, continence. Then ask what questions you like." At the end of a year, Kabandi Katyayana said, "Lord, who created all things?" The sage said, "The Creator, His mind's eye on the world, made a couple in meditation, life, and matter, thinking they would do the rest. Sun is life, moon matter. World movable and immovable is matter. All shape matter. The sun looks into the east, then into the other quarters, then above and below, enlivening, lighting. He, all-prevalent life, first shows himself as light. Here is my authority. The wise know him, the all-pervading, all-illuminating, all-knowing, the One, upholder of all, and say that he rises as the sun, that he may warm everything, go into everything, its particular life. The year is the Creator. There are 2 paths, the southern and the northern. Those that are content with almsgiving and ritual, preferring the life of the family, go to their ancestors by the southern path, attain the lunar world, and are born again. All there is matter. But those who seek the self through austerity, continence, faith, knowledge, go by the northern path, attain the solar world. It is living, immortal, beyond fear. It is the goal. Once there is no return. It is the law. Here is my authority. Some call the sun our protector, with 5 seasons or feet, 12 moons or bodies, who lives beyond the sky and sends the rain. Others call him the year, reckoner of time, who rides in the chariot of 7 colors or 7 horses, and of 6 wheels, considering that the number of seasons. The month too is the creator. Its bright half is life, its dark half matter. Wise men perform their rituals in the bright half, fools in the dark. The round of day and night is the creator. Day life, night matter. Those that couple with a woman by day waste life. Those that couple by night preserve it. Food is the creator. Food makes the seed. All things are from seed. Those who obey God as creator get all that life and matter can give. Those who practice austerity, continence, and truth go beyond these into heaven. They that are neither crooked, nor hypocritical, nor lying, go beyond into pure heaven. The first question asks about the origin of the world. The answer is given through symbolism rather than through a literal account of creation. 2 important terms appear throughout the passage: life and matter. These correspond to the Sanskrit concepts of prana and rayi. Prana is the principle of life, vitality, and energy. Rayi is matter, form, and the material world. The Upanishad presents all existence as arising through the interplay of these 2 principles. The text also speaks of 2 paths after death. The southern path is associated with ritual action and worldly rewards. The northern path is associated with spiritual knowledge and the search for the self. According to the Upanishad, one path leads back into the cycle of rebirth, while the other leads beyond it. Finally, the passage identifies the year, the month, the day, and even food with the Creator. The point is not that these things are gods in themselves, but that the divine power behind the universe is expressed through all the processes of nature and life. These themes, the relationship between life and matter, the search for the self, and the presence of the sacred within the world, will continue throughout the rest of the Prashna Upanishad. Bhargava Vaidarbhini asked, Lord, what powers have knit the body? What powers give it life? Which is the greatest? The sage said, the powers are air, fire, water, earth, speech, mind, light, hearing. All these said aloud that they had knit the body. Life greater than these, said, "You deceive yourselves. It is I alone, dividing myself into 5 streams, knit and enliven the body." But they would not believe. Life, to vindicate himself, rose as though he wanted to leave the body. But as he rose, others knew that they too must rise. When he returned, they returned, as bees follow their queen when she goes out, return when she returns. Speech, mind, light, hearing returned. They began to praise life. Life burns in the fire, shines in the sun. Rain, cloud, air, earth are life. Matter is life. All that has shape or no shape is life. Life is immortality. Everything is fixed in life, as are spokes in the hub of a wheel. The 3 Vedas, all sacrifices, all soldiers, all priests. Life, Lord of creation, moving in the womb, there bringing yourself to birth, master of the 5 streams. All things offer you their tribute. You carry the offerings to the gods and the fathers, even breath and sense your handiwork. Life, creator, protector, destroyer. Sun in heavenly circuit, master of stars. Pour down the rain, let all things find their food, thrive, rejoice. Life itself, purity itself, fire itself, eater, master. All the world your food, Father in heaven. May your body be in our speech, hearing, sight, mind. Make us lucky and never forsake us. May life, master of the 3 worlds, protect us as a mother protects her children. Grant us wisdom. Grant us luck. The key to understanding this question is the meaning of the word translated as life. The Sanskrit term is prana, which can mean breath, vitality, or life force. It refers not merely to being alive, but to the power that animates the body and makes all its functions possible. The various faculties, speech, hearing, sight, and mind, each claim importance, but the Upanishad teaches that they all depend upon prana. This is the point of the story in which life prepares to leave the body. Just as the bees follow their queen, the other powers follow prana because they cannot function without it. The text also briefly mentions that life divides itself into 5 streams. This refers to a traditional teaching that the one life force expresses itself in different ways throughout the body, governing such functions as breathing, digestion, circulation, and other vital processes. The remainder of the passage is a hymn of praise to prana. The sages saw the same life force at work both within the individual and throughout the natural world. For this reason, life is identified with the sun, rain, fire, and the powers that sustain all living things. Kusalya Ashwalayana asked, "Lord, when does life begin? How does it get into the body? How does it live there after dividing itself? How does it get out of the body? How does it support all that is outside, all that is inside? The sage said, "You ask weighty questions. You dig into the root. Here is my answer." Life falls from self as shadow falls from man. Life and self are interwoven, but life comes into the body that the desires of the mind may be satisfied. As the king portions out his kingdom under different officials, life portions out the body under 5 living streams. The organs of excretion and generation under the downward stream, apana. Eye, ear, where he lives himself under prana, which passes out through mouth and nose. The middle of the body under the equalizing stream, samana, distributor of food, kindler of the 7 flames. Self lives in the heart. There are 101 arteries. From every artery start 100 veins. From every vein, 72,000 smaller veins. All these he has put under the diffusing stream, Vijnana. Climbing through one of these, the upward stream, Udana, leads the meritorious man to his reward, the sinful man to his punishment. If his merit and demerit are mixed, back to the world. Rising sun is the symbol of life. Sun maintains prana of the eye. Earth draws down apana. Air, filler of all, maintains samana. Wind, vijnana. Light maintains udana. When that light is out, sense dissolves in mind. Man is born again. Udana, united to the mind's desire at the moment of death, returns to life. And life, Udana lighting the way, brings the soul to whatever place it deserves. The man who knows this knows the meaning of life. His children are never lost. Here is my authority. He who knows the source and power of life, how it enters, where it lives, how it divides itself into 5, how it is related to the self, attains immortality. Yes, attains immortality. In this third question, Kausalya asks not merely what life is, but where it comes from, how it enters the body, and what becomes of it at death. The answer begins with an important distinction between the self and life. The self, or Atman, is the deepest reality within a person. Life, or prana, is the vital force that animates the body and mind. The Upanishad compares their relationship to that of a person and his shadow, closely connected, yet not identical. Much of this section describes the 5 streams of life force. Prana governs breathing and the senses. Apana governs downward moving functions, such as elimination and reproduction. Samana is associated with digestion and the distribution of nourishment. Vijnana circulates throughout the body. Udana, the upward moving current, is linked with growth, consciousness, and ultimately the soul's departure at death. Modern readers need not take these descriptions as anatomy in the scientific sense. The sages are attempting to describe the many ways in which one life force expresses itself throughout the body. The final verses focus on Udana. At death, it's said to guide the soul according to the tendencies, actions, and desires accumulated during life. In this way, the Upanishad presents human life as part of a larger spiritual journey, one that extends beyond a single lifetime. The central teaching of this question is that behind the many functions of the body, there is one unifying life force, and behind that life force stands the deeper reality of the self. Suryayani Gargya asked, Lord, who in man's body wakes, sleeps, dreams, enjoys? On whom do these depend? The sage said, as the rays of the setting sun gather themselves up into his orb to come out again at sunrise, so the senses gather themselves up into the mind, master of them all. Therefore, when a man does not hear, see, touch, smell, taste, speak, receive, give, move, enjoy, we say that he sleeps. Only the living fires are then awake. The living fire, apana, corresponds to the everlasting sacrificial garhapatya fire of the householder. The living fire, vyana, corresponds to the sacrificial anwarhapachan fire that faces south and the southern path. The living fire, prana, lit from the fire, apana, corresponds to the sacrificial ahawaniya fire, lit from the everlasting garhapatya fire that faces east and the rising sun. The living fire, samana, is called the equalizing fire because it balances those oblations, the outgoing and the incoming breath. Mind is the sacrificer. The reward of the sacrifice is the living fire, udana, the deep sleep that again and again leads mind to self. The dreaming mind enjoys its greatness. What it has seen, it sees again. What it has heard, it hears again. What it has enjoyed in different countries and climates, it enjoys again. Whatever is seen, unseen, heard, unheard, enjoyed, unenjoyed, real, unreal, here and there, it knows. It knows everything. When mind is lost in the light of the self, it dreams no more. Still in the body, it is lost in that happiness. My son, all things fly to the self, as birds fly to the tree for rest. Earth, its quality of scent. Water, its quality of taste. Light, its quality of beauty. Wind, its quality of touch. Air, its quality of sound. Eye, what it sees. Ear, what it hears. Nose, what it smells. Tongue, what it tastes. Skin, what it touches. Voice, what it says. Hands, what they handle. Generation, what incites it. Excretion, what is excreted. Feet, what they tread upon. Mind, what it imagines. Intellect, what it discriminates. Pride, what swells it. Thought, what is thought. Light, what is lit. Life, what depends upon it. All these fly towards the self. This is the self who sees, touches, hears, smells, tastes, thinks, discriminates, acts. The personal self and the ultimate imperishable, impersonal self are one. My son, who knows the impersonal self, wherein the personal self, the living fires, senses, elements live, he knows all, lives in all. Here is my authority. He who finds the imperishable being where the individual self, sense, vitality, and elements live, he knows all, pervades all. The fourth question explores the nature of consciousness through the states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. The imagery of the sacred fires refers to the vital energies that continue functioning even while the senses are inactive during sleep. Although sight, hearing, and the other senses withdraw into the mind, life itself continues. The most important teaching concerns deep sleep. The Upanishad suggests that when mental activity and dreaming cease, the mind comes to rest in the self. This state is presented as a clue that our deepest nature lies beyond thoughts, perceptions, and ordinary experience. The question concludes with one of the central teachings of Vedanta, that the individual self and the universal self are ultimately one. All experiences arise within and depend upon this deeper reality. The passage invites us to ask, what remains when thoughts, sensations, and even dreams disappear? The Upanishad answers that what remains is the self. Satyakama Shaibya asked, Lord, where does the man go after his life if he meditates on Om all his life? The sage said, Om is the conditioned and the unconditioned spirit. The wise man, with its help alone, attains the one or the other. If he meditates on the syllable Ah alone, he is soon born again on this earth. If he has chanted the Rig Veda, he is born among men, a great, austere, self-controlled, God-fearing man. If he meditates on the two syllables, Ah and U, and has chanted the Yajur Veda, he goes to the moon and, after enjoying its pleasure, returns to the earth again and again. He who meditates on the three syllables, Ah, U, as upon God, is joined to the light of the sun. Peeling his evil off, As the snake peels off its skin, he goes through that light with the help of Samaveda chants to the kingdom of heaven, to the God greater than the greatest of all creatures, though living in our body. Here is my authority. If man meditates on the 3 syllables in separation, it is the emblem of mortality. But if he meditate upon all together, inseparable, interdependent, the 3 conditions, physical, mental, intellectual, reward him. He goes beyond mortality. Rig Veda brings man to earth. Yajur Veda sends him to the sky, but only the seer knows the world which Samaveda brings. The wise man, with the help of Om, goes there beyond decay, death, fear. He attains peace. Sukesha Bharadwaja said, Lord, I was asked this question by Hiranyadhyaba, prince of Kosala. Bharadwaja, do you know God and his 16 phases? I said to the young man, I do not. I will not lie about it, for I know what happens to the liar. If I did, I would tell you. The prince mounted his chariot and went away without a word. Now I ask, where is that God? The sage said, My son, that God and his 16 phases are in this body. God thought to himself, what is that which compels me to go if it goes, to stay if it stays? He then created life. From life, knowledge. From knowledge, air. From air, wind. From wind, light. From light, water. From water, earth. From earth, sense. From sense, mind. From mind, food. From food, vigor. From vigor, austerity. From austerity, revelation. From revelation, karma. From karma, world. From world, the names. When rivers mingle with the sea, they lose their names and shapes, and people speak of the sea only. So these 16 phases, when they mingle with God, lose their names and shapes, and people speak of God only. Man becomes the phaseless, the timeless. Here is my authority. God is the hub of the wheel where the 16 phases are the spokes. Know him and die no more. What I have told you is all that is known about spirit. They worshipped the sage and said, You are indeed our Father. You have led us to the further shore. All bow down to you, great sage. Bow down to the great sages. The 6th and final question asks about the 16 phases that arise from the self. The long list of phases represents the various powers and aspects through which human experience and the world appear. The important point is not the details of the list itself, but its source and destination. All things arise from the self and ultimately return to it. The Upanishad illustrates this with the image of rivers flowing into the sea. Just as rivers lose their separate names and forms when they reach the ocean, all distinctions ultimately dissolve in the realization of the self. This final teaching brings the entire Upanishad to its conclusion. Beneath the many forms, names, experiences, and powers of life, there is one underlying reality. To know that reality is the goal toward which all 6 questions have been pointing. Lords, inspiration of sacrifice. May our ears hear the good. May our eyes see the good. May we serve Him with the whole strength of our body. May we, all our life, carry out His will. Peace, peace, and peace be everywhere. Welcome to the Lord. The word Om is the imperishable. All this, its manifestation. Past, present, future. Everything is Om. Whatever transcends the 3 divisions of time, that too is Om. There is nothing that is not spirit. The personal self is the impersonal spirit. It has 4 conditions. First comes the material condition, common to all. Perception turned outward, 7 agents, 19 agencies, wherein the self enjoys coarse matter. This is known as the waking condition. The second is the mental condition, perception turned inward, 7 agents, 19 agencies, wherein the self enjoys subtle matter. This is known as the dreaming condition. In deep sleep, man feels no desire, creates no dream. This undreaming sleep is the 3rd condition, the intellectual condition. Because of his union with the self and his unbroken knowledge of it, he is filled with joy. He knows his joy. His mind is illuminated. The self is the Lord of all, inhabitant of the hearts of all. He is the source of all, creator and dissolver of beings. There is nothing he does not know. He is not knowable by perception, turned inward or outward, nor by both combined. He is neither that which is known, nor that which is not known, nor is he the sum of all that might be known. He cannot be seen, grasped, bargained with. He is undefinable, unthinkable, indescribable. The only proof of his existence is union with him. The world disappears in him. He is the peaceful, the good, the one without a second. This is the 4th condition of the self, the most worthy of all. This self, though beyond words, is that supreme word, Om. Though indivisible, it can be divided into 3 letters corresponding to the 3 conditions of the self: the letter A, the letter U, and the letter M. The waking condition, called the material condition, corresponds to the letter A, which leads the alphabet and breathes in all the other letters. He who understands gets all he wants, becomes a leader among men. The dreaming condition, called the mental condition, corresponds to the second letter, U. It upholds, stands between waking and sleeping. He who understands upholds the tradition of spiritual knowledge, looks upon everything with an impartial eye. No one ignorant of spirit is born into his family. Undreaming sleep, called the intellectual condition, corresponds to the third letter, M. It weighs and unites. He who understands weighs the world, rejects, unites himself with the cause. The fourth condition of the self corresponds to Om as one indivisible word. He is whole, beyond bargain. The world disappears in him. He is the good, the one without a second. Thus, Om is nothing but self. He who understands, with the help of his personal self, merges himself into the impersonal self. He who understands. The Mandukya Upanishad is one of the shortest of the Upanishads, yet it contains one of their most influential teachings. The text examines consciousness through 4 conditions. The first is waking life, in which awareness is directed toward the external world. The second is the dream state, in which awareness experiences an inner world created by the mind. The third is deep sleep, where thoughts and dreams disappear and a profound rest remains. The Upanishad then points to a 4th condition, often called Turiya, meaning simply the 4th. Unlike the other 3 states, it is not a particular experience. It is the underlying awareness that is present through waking, dreaming, and deep sleep alike. Because it is the witness of all experiences, it cannot itself be observed as an object. The text also uses Om as a symbol of this teaching. The sounds A, U, and M are associated with waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. The silence beyond the sound represents the 4th, the reality that transcends all changing states while remaining present within them. Whether understood philosophically or spiritually, the central question of the Mandukya Upanishad is simple. What remains constant through every experience we have? The Upanishad answers that behind the changing contents of consciousness, there is an unchanging awareness, and that this awareness is our deepest nature. May the sun bless us. May the night bless us. May the eye bless us. May might bless us. Speech bless us. May the all-prevalent bless us. Welcome, Spirit. Welcome, life, face of Spirit. Truth shall be on my lips and truth in my thoughts. May truth protect me. Protect my teacher. Protect us both. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. We explain what constitutes pronunciation. It comprises letters, accent, quantity, articulation, rhythm, and lastly, sequence of letters. Grant success. Grant that we may be one in the light of Spirit. This chapter deals with the world, heavenly bodies, education, generation, language. What is this world? Earth below, heaven above, air between, wind joining them. What are the heavenly bodies? Fire on one side, sun on the other side, water between, lightning joining them. What is education? The teacher on one side, pupil on the other side, knowledge between, discourse joining them. What is generation? Mother on one side, father on the other side, child between, procreation joining them. What is language? The lower jaw on one side, the upper jaw on the other side, words between, tongue joining them. This is the summary. He who knows them all shall have children, cattle, food, knowledge, heaven. Om. Essence of the Vedas, revealed in the Vedas, revealed in the world, sprung from immortality. Lord, fill me with intelligence, that I may grasp immortality. Make my body strong, my tongue sweet, my ears keen. You are the Spirit's armor, hidden by sensuality. Keep me from forgetting. May spiritual riches come of their own will. May they increase, then send me Spirit itself. May I never lack clothes, cows, food, drink, that I may serve you the better. May pupils come, may pupils gather round, may pupils listen, that I may serve you the better. May they in peace control mind and sense, that they may serve you the better. May I become famous, may I become richer than the richest, that I may serve you the better. Lord, may I enter into you, may you enter into me. May I merge into your thousands of shapes for my purification. As water flows downward, as months mingle with the year, guardian, may pupils come from everywhere, that I may serve you the better. You are the fold. Take me, enlighten me. Buhu, buaha, suaha are sacred sounds. Sage Mahachamasya taught a fourth, Mahes, meaning spirit, meaning God. The others are his limbs. When Buhu is earth, Buaha sky, Suaha heaven, Mahas is the sun, for everything is sustained by the sun. When Buhu is fire, Buaha wind, Suaha sun, Mahas is the moon, for planets are sustained by the moon. When Buhu is Rigveda, Buaha Samaveda, Suaha Yajurveda, Mahas is spirit, for the Vedas are sustained by spirit. When Buhu is prana, Buaha Apana, Suaha Vyana, Mahas is food, for the living fires are sustained by food. Thus, there are 4 times 4, 16 sacred sounds. He who knows them knows spirit. All gods will pay him homage. God lives in the hollow of the heart, filling it with immortality, light, intelligence. Where the skull divides and where it is customary to divide the hair lies the hollow, where the gate of God swings, like the uvula within the palate. Through that gate, man goes forth into fire crying Buhu, into air crying Buaha, into sun crying Suaha, into spirit crying Mahas. In spirit, he attains heaven, conquers his mind, becomes master of speech, sight, hearing, knowledge. He becomes spirit itself, which has for its body air, for its soul truth, for its rest life. There he is peaceful, merry, immortal. Worship spirit, now that you are fit to worship ancient spirit. Earth, sky, heavens, quarters, subquarters. Fire, wind, sun, moon, stars. Water, air, herb, food, body are elements. Prana, Vyana, Apana, Udana, Samana. Eye, ear, mind, tongue, touch. Skin, flesh, muscle, bone, marrow are the body. A sage said, understanding these sets of 5, everything is sacred, for with the help of the latter, man conquers the former. Om is spirit. Everything is but Om. Om permits. Om gives the signal. Om begins the ceremony. All chants begin with Om. All hymns begin with Om. The priest begins with Om. His commands are in the name of Om. The sacrificer offers the oblation with Om. The teacher begins with Om. The pupil begins with Om. The pupil murmuring Om seeks for spirit. In the end, he finds spirit. Do your duty. Learn and teach. Speak truth. Learn and teach. Meditate. Learn and teach. Control sense. Learn and teach. Control mind. Learn and teach. Kindle fire. Learn and teach. Feed fire. Learn and teach. Be hospitable. Learn and teach. Be humane. Learn and teach. Serve the family. Learn and teach. Procreate. Learn and teach. Educate your children. Learn and teach. Ratitara Satyawacha says, truth is necessary. Paurushishti Taponitya says, austerity is necessary. Mudgalya Naka says, learning and teaching are necessary. Learning and teaching, they are austerity. They are austerity. I nourish the tree of life. My glory is like the mountain peak. I am exalted, wise, luminous, immortal, pure. I am the life that flows from the sun. So said sage Trishanku, having attained. After teaching the Vedas, teacher says to pupil, speak the truth, do your duty, study the Vedas, give what is fitting to the teacher, marry, continue the family. Neither neglect your spiritual nor your worldly welfare. Always learn and teach. Forget neither God nor ancestor. Your mother your goddess, your father your God, your guest your God, your teacher your God. Copy our good deeds alone, and so escape blame. Look for men greater than us. Welcome them. Give them hospitality. Give with faith. If you lack faith, give nothing. Give in proportion to your means. Give with courtesy. Give as the God-fearing give. Give to the deserving. If you do not know what to do in some particular case or in your general conduct, think of what sense of duty, what kindness, independence of public opinion some holy men of your neighborhood, whether of an order or not, would show in like circumstance. If you do not know what to think about a man, think what some such holy man would think about him. This is the admonition, the advice, the law of the Vedas. Obey, obey. The first book of the Taittiriya Upanishad focuses on preparation. Much of its language concerns sacred recitation, teachers, students, and ritual instruction, yet its deeper message is timeless. The text teaches that wisdom is not gained through information alone. Before we can understand higher truths, we must cultivate the qualities that make understanding possible. Speech should be truthful, the mind disciplined, and one's actions guided by integrity. A central theme of this book is that learning and character cannot be separated. Knowledge is not something to be collected, but something to be lived. This idea reaches its clearest expression in the teacher's final advice to the student. Speak the truth, fulfill your duties, continue learning, honor those who have guided you, and give generously. These teachings form the foundation upon which the later books of the Upanishad are built. Before exploring the nature of the self and ultimate reality, we are first reminded that spiritual growth begins with how we live each day. The first book of the Taittiriya Upanishad teaches that wisdom is not merely a matter of what we know, but of who we become. Book 2. Joy. May He protect us both. May He take pleasure in us both. May we show courage together. May spiritual knowledge shine before us. May we never hate one another. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. He who knows spirit knows the foundation. Here is my authority. He who knows spirit as that boundless wise reality, hidden in the heart's cavern, gets all that he wants. Out of spirit came air, out of air, wind, out of wind, fire, out of fire, water, out of water, earth, out of earth, vegetation, out of vegetation, food, out of food, man. Man's elemental self comes from food. This his head, this his right arm, this his left arm, this his heart, these legs his foundation. Here is my authority. From food are born all creatures. They live upon food. They are dissolved in food. Food is the chief of all things, the universal medicine. They who think of food as spirit shall never lack. From food all beings are born. All beings increase their bulk. All beings feed upon it. It feeds upon all beings. The elemental self is from food, but within it lives its complement and completion, the living self. The living self grows up side by side with the elemental self. Prana is its head, Vyana its right arm, Apana its left arm, air its heart, earth its foundation. Here is my authority. Gods, men, beasts live by breath. Breath is life and is called the giver of life. The living self is the soul of the elemental self, but within it lives its complement and completion, the thinking self. The thinking self grows up side by side with the living self. Meditation is its head, ritual its right arm, prayer its left arm, admonition of the Vedas its heart, sage Atawangiras its foundation. Here is my authority. He who knows the spiritual joy mind cannot grasp nor tongue speak fears nothing. The thinking self is the soul of the living self, but within it lives its complement and completion, the knowing self. The knowing self grows up side by side with the thinking self. Faith is its head, right its right arm, truth its left arm, concentration its heart, discrimination its foundation. Here is my authority. Knowledge runs to sacrifice and incites action. Gods worship knowledge as the highest expression of spirit. The steadfast worshipper of spirit, as knowledge, goes beyond all evil, gets everything he wants. The knowing self is the soul of the thinking self, but within it lives its complement and completion, the joyous self. The joyous self grows up side by side with the knowing self. Satisfied desire is its head, pleasure its right arm, contentment its left arm, joy its heart, spirit its foundation. Here is my authority. He who denies spirit denies himself. He who affirms it affirms himself. This joyous self is the soul of the knowing self. Does an ignorant man attain spirit after death, or only a wise man? God thought, I would be many, I will procreate. And in the heat of his meditation created everything. Creating everything, he entered into everything. Entering into everything, he took shape, yet remained shapeless. Took limits, yet remained limitless. Made his home, yet remained homeless. Created knowledge and ignorance, reality, unreality. Became everything. Therefore, everything is reality. Here is my authority. In the beginning, there was no creation. Then creation came. He created himself out of himself. Hence, he is called self-creator. Everything is self-created. He is that essence. Drinking that essence, man rejoices. If man did not lose himself in that joy, he could not breathe, he could not live. Self is the sole giver of joy. When man finds invisible, nameless, homeless, shapeless, invulnerable rock, he is no longer terrified. To doubt spirit is to live in terror. For that man, thinking himself wise, who doubts spirit, spirit becomes terror itself. Here is my authority. Through terror of God, sun shines, rain pours, fire burns, wind blows, death speeds. What is joy? Think of a young man, well-read, ambitious, firm, strong, noble. Give him all the wealth of the world, call him one unit of human joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of those brought to the celestial choir by their good deeds. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times, and call it 1 unit of the joy of choir-born spirits. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times, and call it 1 unit of the joy of the fathers, living in their eternal paradise. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of heaven-born gods. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of gods brought to Godhead by their good deeds. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of ruling gods. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of Indra, god of power. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of Brihaspati, who has taught the gods. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of Prajapati, maker of gods. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. Multiply that joy 100 times and call it 1 unit of the joy of spirit. A man full of revelation, but without desire, has equal joy. He who lives in man, he who lives in the sun, are one. He who knows this cries goodbye to the world, goes beyond elemental self, living self, thinking self, knowing self, joyous self. Here is my authority. He who knows the spiritual joy mind cannot grasp nor tongue speak fears nothing. Should he do wrong or leave good undone, he knows no remorse. What he does not, is sanctified. What he does not, what he does, is sanctified. The second book of the Taittiriya Upanishad turns inward, exploring the deeper dimensions of human existence. The text describes a series of layers that make up the human being: the physical body, the vital force, the mind, and the intellect. Yet it teaches that none of these is our deepest identity. Beneath all changing experiences lies what it calls the blissful self. The Upanishad also asks a profound question: what is the source of the universe? The answer is Brahman, the one reality that appears as the many forms of existence while never ceasing to be one. The same essence that shines throughout the cosmos is present within each of us. One of the book's most famous teachings concerns bliss. Human happiness, no matter how great, is described as only a faint reflection of the infinite fullness of Brahman. True joy is not found through endless acquisition or achievement, but through realizing the deeper reality that is already present within. The book concludes by declaring that the reality within the individual and the reality within the universe are one and the same. To know this directly is to move beyond fear, for fear arises from the experience of separation. The central message of this book is that beneath the changing layers of body and mind lies an unchanging reality characterized by existence, consciousness, and bliss. Book 3, Brigu. May He protect us both. May He take pleasure in us both. May we show courage together. May spiritual knowledge shine before us. May we never hate one another. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. Brigu, seeking his father Varuna, said, "Lord, what is spirit?" Varuna said, "First, know food, life, seeing, hearing, speaking, thinking. Then that spirit from whom all things are born, by whom they live, towards whom they move, into whom they return." Brigu meditated and found that food is spirit. From food all things are born, by food they live, towards food they move, into food they return. Having found this, he said to his father, "Lord, tell me more about spirit." Varuna said, "Find spirit through meditation. Meditation is spirit." Brigu meditated and found that life is spirit. From life all things are born, by life they live, towards life they move, into life they return. Having found this, he said to his father, "Lord, tell me more about spirit." Varuna said, "Find spirit through meditation. Meditation is spirit." Brigu meditated and found that mind is spirit. From mind all things are born, by mind they live, towards mind they move, into mind they return. Having found this, he said to his father, "Lord, tell me more about spirit." Varuna said, "Find spirit through meditation. Meditation is spirit." Brigu meditated and found that knowledge is spirit. From knowledge all things are born, by knowledge they live, towards knowledge they move, into knowledge they return. Having found this, he said to his father, "Lord, tell me more about spirit." Varuna said, "Find spirit through meditation. Meditation is spirit." Brigu meditated and found that joy is spirit. From joy all things are born, by joy they live, toward joy they move, into joy they return. This is what Brigu, son of Varuna, found in the hollow of his heart. He who knows it stands on a rock, commands everything, enjoys everything, founds a family, gathers flocks and herds, grows famous through the light of spirit, is a great man. Do not steal food. Water is food. Light lives on water. Water is light. Light is water. They are food for one another. He who knows it stands on a rock, commands everything, enjoys everything, founds a family, gathers flocks and herds, grows famous through the light of spirit, is a great man. store food. Earth is food. Air lives on earth. Earth is air. Air is earth. They are food for one another. He who knows it stands on a rock, commands everything, enjoys everything, founds a family, gathers flocks and herds, grows famous through the light of spirit, is a great man. Never turn anyone from the door. Gather enough food, say to the stranger, "Sir, the dinner is served." He who gives with purity gets purity in return. He who gives with passion gets passion in return. He who gives with ignorance gets ignorance in return. He who knows meditates upon spirit as the blessedness of speech. As prana and apana, the getting and giving of the two breaths. As the activity of hands, as movement of feet, as the evacuation of the bowels. These are the customary meditations upon the body. He meditates upon spirit as nourishment in rain, as violence in lightning, as abundance in cattle, as light in stars, as creation, joy, immortality in sex, as all-filling, all-containing nature in air. These are the customary meditations on nature. Worship spirit as the support, be supported. Worship spirit as the great, become great. Worship spirit as the mind, become mind. Bow down to spirit as the sole object of desire, be the goal of all desire. Worship spirit as the master of all, become the master of all. Worship spirit as the destroyer. Your enemies, whether public or in your own house, shall be destroyed. He who lives in man, he who lives in the sun, are the same. He who knows this says goodbye to the world, goes beyond elemental self, living self, thinking self, knowing self, joyous self. He moves at will throughout the world, enjoying whatever he will, creating whatever shape he will, praising the unity of spirit, miraculous, miraculous, miraculous. I am the food. I am the food. I am the food. I am the eater. I am the eater. I am the eater. I am the link between. I am the link between. I am the link between. I am the first among the visible and the invisible. I existed before the gods. I am the navel of immortality. Who gives me, protects me. I am food. Who refuses to give me, I eat as food. I am this world, and I eat this world. Who knows this, knows. The third book of the Taittiriya Upanishad tells the story of the seeker Bhrigu, who approaches his father and teacher Varuna with a profound question. What is the ultimate reality behind existence? Rather than giving a direct answer, Varuna instructs him to investigate for himself through contemplation. Bhrigu first identifies food as the source of life, then discovers deeper principles in life force, mind, and knowledge. Yet, each proves incomplete. Finally, he realizes that the deepest reality is bliss. This teaching echoes the central message of the Upanishad as a whole. The ultimate truth is not found through intellectual belief alone, but through direct insight. The teacher can point the way, but each seeker must discover the truth within their own experience. The book then turns to the practical expression of this realization, encouraging reverence, gratitude, and generosity. Even ordinary things such as food are treated as sacred, for the divine is present throughout the whole of life. The Upanishad concludes with a vision of unity. The seeker no longer experiences himself as separate from the world around him. The same reality that shines in the cosmos shines within every living being. The journey that began with discipline and learning ends in the recognition that all existence is rooted in a single, indivisible source. At the feet of Master Aitareya, the Aitareya Upanishad. May God be revealed. Speech merge in mind. Mind merge in speech. May they bring me the Vedas. May I ponder over that knowledge day and night. May I never forget it. Truth shall be on my lips, and truth in my thoughts. May truth protect me. Protect my teacher. Protect us both. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. There was in the beginning one sole self. No eye winked. He thought, shall I create territories? He created territories. That of the first water, that of light, that of earth, that of water. Heaven and beyond heaven is that of the first water. Sky is that of light. This mortal territory is that of earth. Under earth is that of water. He thought again, the territories are there. Let me create their rulers. Out of water, he lifted an egg. He warmed it, and because of his warmth, a being with a mouth appeared through a crack, for his own form lay within it. From the mouth came speech. From speech, fire. A nose appeared. From its nostrils came breath. From breath, air. The eyes appeared. From the eyes came sight. From sight, the sun. The ears appeared. From the ears came hearing. From hearing, the four quarters. The skin appeared. From the skin came hair. From hair, vegetation. The heart appeared. From the heart came the mind. From the mind came the moon. The navel appeared. From the navel came the downward breath, apana. From apana, death. Sex appeared. From sex came seed. From seed, water. When these gods were created, they went back into the waters. Then he endowed that being with hunger and thirst. Then the gods said, "Give us some place where we can live and eat." He created a bull out of the waters. They said, "No, he is not sufficient." He created a horse. They said, "No, it is not sufficient." He created a man. They said, "You have done well." Because they were satisfied, man is the chief of creatures. He said to the gods, "Take your places." Fire in the character of speech entered the mouth. Air in the character of scent entered the nose. Sun in the character of sight entered the eyes. 4 quarters in the character of hearing entered the ears. Vegetation in the character of hair entered the skin. Moon in the character of mind entered the heart. Death in the character of apana entered the navel. Water in the character of seed entered the loins. Hunger and thirst said, "Where is our place?" He said, "Take your place beside all the gods, for I have made you the partners of all. To whatever god man makes oblation, hunger and thirst shall partake." He thought, "Here are the territories and their rulers. I will create food." He meditated on water, and from the heat of meditation came an image. That image is food. Food fled from man. Man tried to grasp it with speech, but failed. Had he succeeded, to talk about it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with breath, but failed. Had he succeeded, to inhale it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with his eyes, but failed. Had he succeeded, to look upon it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with his ears, but failed. Had he succeeded, to hear it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with his skin, but failed. Had he succeeded, to touch it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with his mind, but failed. Had he succeeded, thinking of it had been satisfaction enough. He tried to grasp it with the downward breath, apana, and succeeded. Apana alone receives food. Apana lives on food. God thought, "Can they live without me? How shall I enter the body?" He knew that even if tongue spoke, breath breathed, eyes saw, ears heard, skin touched, mind thought, apana drew in, sex threw out, they would not know him. He opened the suture of the skull, entered through the gate which is called the gate of joy. He found 3 places in the body where he could live, 3 conditions where he could move: waking, dreaming, sleeping. He entered the body, named its various parts, wondered if there could be anything there not himself, rejoiced to find there was nothing but himself. Hence, he is known by the name Idandra, he that sees, or is shortened into Indra, for even the gods are affectionate. First, he becomes the seed of a man, which is light gathered from all the limbs of the body. Man nourishes himself within himself as seed. When he ejects that seed into a woman, he himself is born. That is his first incarnation. The seed merges in the woman's body. Because it becomes her body, it does not harm her. She nourishes the self of the man within herself. Protect her, for she is protecting the seed. Before and after the birth of the child, man blesses the child, blessing himself. Man lives in his child. That is his second incarnation. The son, being the father over again, carries the traditions of the family, and the father, having completed his fate, exhausted his years, dies and is born again. That is his third incarnation. Sage Vamadeva said, "When lying in the womb, I understood how the gods worked. They put me into that iron-gated, 100-gated prison, but I fled quickly, fled like a hawk." Sage Vamadeva broke out of the body, did all that he desired, attained the kingdom of heaven, became immortal. Yes, became immortal. On whom should we meditate as the self? Which of the two is he? Is he that by which we see, hear, speak, smell, separate the sweet from the sour? Or is he that other, living in the mind or in the intellect as imagination, discrimination, knowledge, continuity, intuition, conviction, contemplation, will, emotion, memory, desire, resolution, being, living, loving, longing, all names for the one intelligence? He is Spirit, Creator, God. All gods. Earth, air, water, wind, fire, constituents of life, all greater and lesser combinations. Seminal, egg-born, womb-born, sweat-born, soil-born. Horses, cows, men, elephants, birds. Everything that breathes, movable, immovable, all founded upon, all moved by the one intelligence. Intelligence is spirit. Sage Vamadeva, with this knowledge, did all that he desired, left this world for heaven, became immortal. Became immortal. The Aitareya Upanishad begins with a story of creation, but its deepest concern is not the origin of the world. Instead, it asks a more fundamental question: who is the one who experiences the world? This text describes the formation of the senses, the mind, and the body, yet it insists that none of these alone is the true self. Seeing, hearing, thinking, and breathing are all important, but they are expressions of a deeper reality that makes experience possible. This leads to the Upanishad's central teaching. The essence of the individual is consciousness itself, the one awareness that knows our thoughts, perceptions, and emotions is not separate from the source of the universe. The same reality that appears as the world also shines within every living being as the light of awareness. The sage Vamadeva is said to have realized this truth and attained freedom. His example reminds us that spiritual wisdom is not the acquisition of something new, but the recognition of what has always been present. The Aitareya Upanishad invites us to look beyond the changing contents of experience and discover the consciousness that remains constant through them all. Its message is simple yet profound. The self we seek is the very awareness through which we seek it.